At the start of the Trump presidency, back at the start of 2017, if you had asked most Americans to choose what they would have expected to befall the country by the end of just this presidential term, just by the end of this 4-year term of Trump being in office, how many Americans would have given you this list that we are now living through, right? I mean, an unemployment chart that looks like this. This is Department of Labor unemployment numbers going back to 1967. Look at us there on the right. That's how we're living now. Or economic headlines like this one from CNBC today. U.S. GDP fell at a 5% rate in the first quarter, and the worst is likely on the way. GDP is negative 5%. Alongside rule of law headlines like that breaking news we just covered from the New York Times with Katie Benner about the president getting his attorney general to interfere in apparently all criminal cases that touch on the president's interests and his associates, right? As he tries to take over the federal prosecutor's office in New York after he already effectively took over the federal prosecutor's office in D.C., ousting that U.S. attorney already, taking over ongoing investigations in that office related to the president's interests before they ever produced potential indictments, appointing a criminal prosecutor to go after FBI and CIA officials who were involved in investigating the president getting Russian help in the election that put him in the White House, appointing another criminal prosecutor to go after high-level members of the previous administration, including, say, maybe it just so happens, the very senior member of that previous administration that President Trump is going to be running against in his re-election effort in the fall. I mean, maybe we all saw all of this coming, right? The economic collapse, the rule of law collapse. But who among us saw it coming all at the same time and at the same time as the total surrender of our country to a highly contagious viral pandemic? Right? I mean, every country that took drastic steps to contain coronavirus took an economic hit for it. Well, we took among the worst economic hits in the world. We're still reeling, except the difference is we didn't actually contain the coronavirus, right? We gave ourselves the economic hit, but we wasted it in terms of what we used that time for in terms of containing this pandemic. We blew it. Everybody took an economic hit, but look what they got for their time. They got their pandemics under control. We did not. We took the economic hit, and we are still eating it in terms of the health impact of this thing, with 121,000 dead Americans. I mean, last night, we reported that the United States had reached the largest number of new infections yet on any single day since the start of the pandemic. We did break that record yesterday. Then today, we broke it again. Today, we set a new record when we broke the record that we set yesterday. Let's see how tomorrow looks.